In World War II, they fought for France. 1944, as Paris celebrated freedom, thousands of African soldiers, men from Senegal, Mali, Niger, Guinea, Burkina Faso were still in uniform. The Tirailleurs Sénégalais, France's African backbone, dragged across oceans to fight a war that didn't concern them. In trenches, they were put in the war front to bleed and die first. But some survived. When the war ended, they expected their payment, recognition, and dignity. Instead, they were sent to a camp in Thiaroye, outside Dakar. They waited for their demobilization pay. French soldiers had been paid and sent home. But the Africans were asked to wait. "We're awaiting paperwork," they were told. Then the truth became clear. Their pay was reduced and withheld. The money earned in blood was shrinking on paper. They asked questions and demanded answers. "We fought for France," they said. "We want what we are owed." It was dignity speaking. But to the colonialist, that can sound like defiance. Early morning, December 1st, 1944, French forces surrounded the camp. The accusation was mutiny. The punishment, gunfire. Men who survived European battlefields fell on African soil to French bullets. The shooting did not last long. They were labeled rebellious, dangerous, and unruly, a necessary suppression. But history holds the truth. They were asking to be paid. They were asking to be treated as men. Thiaroye was not just about wages. It was about racial hierarchy. A system where African blood was valuable in war but inconvenient in peace. The number of the dead has long been debated. The records are incomplete in order to hide the truth. Some say dozens. Some believe more. What is certain is this. Men who fought for France were killed by France on African soil after the war was already won. Some survivors were imprisoned, others were silenced. The story was buried in paperwork and politics. For years it was easier to forget, easier to speak of liberation without speaking of betrayal. But Thiaroye did not disappear. It lived in the memory of mothers who never saw their sons again. It lived in veterans who carried betrayal and trauma. It lived in the quiet understanding that colonial loyalty was a one-way promise. It rolled forward into independence movements, into distrust, into the long, complicated relationship between Africa and its former colonial powers. History does not vanish. It settles into institutions, into borders, into economies, into memory. Thiaroye is not just a massacre. It is a reminder that freedom celebrated in one capital can hide injustice in another. A reminder that Africa's role in global history was not passive. Its sons fought. Its sons bled. Its sons died. Not only at the hands of enemies, but sometimes at the hands of allies. Today, when we tell their story, we are refusing to let silence finish what bullets began. They survived war. They did not survive peace.